Hi, this is Shadi. Today I have an interesting one for you. It's a tape from 1987 where you see Hixon training judo both in Newaza and Tachiwaza. And I love this footage because you see all the classical elements. You see the interchangeable relationship between judo and jiu-jitsu, and of course we all know that Hixon is a George Mehdi judo black belt. Uh, he is sparring in this footage. In the stand-up, we will see fighting Nishioka Hayward, and Hayward was, I believe, 44 years old, while Hixon was 28. But before we do that, of course, like the usual, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out my book, The Origins and History of Judo, translation from a manuscript from 1903, available in English and French. So here we can see Nishioka sensei, and the sparring starts, and right away Hixon tries to go for the leg. He is standing as a left-handed, while Nishioka is standing straight right-handed, and you can see Hixon's shoulder at the beginning. They're almost crouching down a little bit. Here he's a bit more relaxed, while if you look at Nishioka reaching out his hand, he has a very relaxed posture, a shizen hontai, or a natural posture, while Hixon's shoulders are slightly crouched and closed off. He seems a little bit more tense, and that's normal even when you reach very high levels and you know the guy that's in front of you is very skilled and very technical. You will have this type of attitude, and this is one of judo's biggest challenges, I would say. You see it even at the highest level world championships. You see guys like have their shoulders closed off, they're somewhat scared, their hips are slightly back. However, here you can see Jigoro Kano demonstrating two postures, the first one being the natural posture, and it's very fluent and relaxed, while the Jigotai, the one on the right, is a more of a defensive posture. But notice the upper body is more relaxed and not bent over because you lose balance. Here you can see Hixon tried to go after he was swept, he tried to go for the leg. Here he is trying to do it again. His posture is completely broken. There's a saying in Japanese, shisei to shisei, which means attitude and sincerity, and it's kind of also can be translated to your posture equals your attitude in a sense. And here you can see that Hixon doesn't have the right attitude. He is hesitant, only trying to go for the legs, and you can see that he gets punished with this type of attitude because he's hesitant. Goes for a very weak sotogari. Let's see it again. He tries to reap the leg and gets swept immediately for a counter. The counter is sotogaishi, so it's an sotogari to counter an sotogari, and this usually happens when you have a weak posture, weak grips, no unbalancing, and it shows in the quality of your attack and your posture. They never lie. This is why they say attitude and sincerity, and it's a great example of this. Now we continue. Hixon still has his bent over posture, and here he pulls off something actually very brilliant. So Nishioka goes for kochigari, but Hixon drags him down with him with the arms and then turns him over. So we've seen this in the 2007 World Championship. Kosei Inoue tries to go for a small inner reap, and Teddy Riner drags him down with him, turning the attack against him. Still a bit controversial decision, but here he goes for north, south, and then a traditional Juji Gatame, and gets him. They immediately stand up and continue. Now Hixon is feeling a little bit more confident, goes for a knee pick, a running knee pick, but didn't get a score or a full score maybe. But you can see now after this it's Hixon. Of course, you will expect the armbar, and Kuchiki Taoshi. Hixon going for the legs, has a little bit of a bent over posture, takes advantage of the ground. So you can see Judo, Jiu-Jitsu in the same, while the Judoka is more of an upright. Keep in mind, this is the 80s. Leg grabs were just a normal part of the day, and still he had the Japanese posture. He knows, but with good gripping, you can prevent and defend against most of these. But here, since they continued quickly and Nishioka just stabbed, so he wasn't, fully present, and so Hixon took advantage of this. Here they continue again. Hixon is feeling a little bit more powerful. You can see it, tries to sweep, but still the posture is not where it is. He tries to go for a double leg, and then he tries to strangle him with the gi, but Hixon turns him over, and again another Juji Gatame. Notice the shin is close to the ribs and not over the chest. So again, the classical form, and this is something I always admired about Rickson Gracie, is that he mastered the fundamental forms, and you can take them to the highest level. Basics and fundamentals doesn't mean easy, and simple doesn't mean easy. In my opinion, the simple is the hardest thing to achieve, and you will see one last throw by Nishioka, but as you can see, the interchangeable between the ground and the stand-up, the Japanese attitude and the stand-up versus BJJ or jiu-jitsu. Still, again, I know Hixon is a judoka, but you can see very much this type of approach is being adopted today by jiu-jitsu practitioners. More, even though he's a judoka, Elio Gracie was a bit different. He had more of a judo-like takedowns, and here finally he hits him with a big uchimata, a pull, and then turns for tsukuri, and Kake just launches the leg. And of course, this is classical uchimata. This is the basic form that you learn. So create a triangle with the legs, then a back step to help you turn your entire body, launching the leg with a little bit more force. But he does this particular form here where he pulls and then rotating, which creates even a bigger pulling force, and then launches the leg. As I get older, as I get more mature, and I realize the limitations of my body, this form of uchimata is becoming my favorite. And the time runs out, or they decide to stop. So as you can see, it's almost a tie. He got 2 taps, and Nishioka got 2 throws. It's very judo versus jiu-jitsu type sparring, and you can see it. And this is what I like. There's stand-up, there's ground, it's interchangeable, but you can see one is more having the ground as a priority, while the other is more of a stand-up. There's also rolling in this clip. You can find it on YouTube. Just type Hixon and Nishioka and you will find it. It's a great footage, and there's a lot to learn, and also you can see all the classical expressions. If you have anything to add, let me know down below. Don't forget to check out the links. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.